Chacham, when he was running, so sure enough, he came to a certain place, and the Nazis wanted to take away his tefillin. So he gave away, he has tefillin Rashi's Rabbeinu Tam. And they gave away his Rashis. And everybody was like, what? Should have given away Rabbeinu Tam. Rashi says, Nikel, Aloha. He says, no worry. When he came to the city, I think he ran away maybe to Paris or somewhere. He came there, and they're like, what are you going to do? You have your tefillin. He says, everybody hears Rashi's. Ask anybody if they have Rabbeinu Tam. And everyone has Rashi's. Don't have Rabbeinu Tam. He said, so name of my Rashi's, I don't just have to leave one pair left for Rashi's. I get the ones that Chalapachas, we did everybody. I'm sure there's one kosher pair of Rashi's, but Rabbeinu Tam, nobody else had. So he was like, he never missed a day of the Rashi's and Rabbeinu Tam. He was like then already. There's you see Snefesh going to see. He suffered, I'm sure, also in the travels. He had some in the floors. He had a tremendous act. He was a huge machadish. He was already writing Torah from as a young kid. Tremendous chiddushim. You have to understand. We have to thank Hashem. We think our chinuch is tough. He had once.
He had a sefer from when he was younger, right? When he was young, he was like really young. He had a sefer.
Yeah, and he wrote when he was very young. Could be. I don't remember which one. Yeah, it was for sure. He wrote from as a kid when he started writing Torah. But he had his father one time. If I heard him or something like Baba Kama. I don't have to look it up. I don't remember all the stories. Never heard. And he knew it. He heard himself on the whole Baba Kama, I think. And like instead of getting a compliment later, he's like, "What? Just Baba Kama? Boy, by your age, you already know Baba Basra and Baba Metzia as well." And like that was, today the kids, who knows what, And then, so he took it so seriously. He's like, "Oh, he didn't know." The mom just plugged himself in, and his father used to have to always take him away to remind him that because he used to be mechadish, he had tremendous koich achidish. But therefore, he has tons of songs. So what happened was when he was running away from the Nazis. He sent to America all his oitzers, all his farm that he wrote, all of his kalim that he had. He had things, they were directly sent from the Baal Shem Tov. They had so many things. Maisi sent it and never came. It never came. And what happened was, when he came to America, he had so many svarim he had written in Europe, he decided all these chedushim, he rewrote them. Later on, I don't know if it was when he was still alive after he passed. I think he was still alive. Eventually, like Mamish, like 40 years after the war, whatever it was, the swarm, it got the whole shipment came, and they compared the swarm, and they saw that it was like 99% identical. All the songs he had rewritten, was Mamish like the same. Mamish come out with one word as he was learning the rice, all the chidushim. He was tremendous. I heard one of the retirees said he was bucking a matrius and Rosh Hashanah. So now when I was my son is an Achmed to his grandson. So he told us over a fascinating Torah from Skolya. He asked a big question, and I had a big chiddush on it. So I'm proud to say I got a big chiddush on it. He said, why do we call it a Simchas HaBar Mitzvah? A Bar Mitzvah is one mitzvah. He's a bar mitzvah. Why do we call it a simchas habar mitzvah? Bar mitzvah is one mitzvah. Well, simchas habar mitzvahs. Taryag mitzvah, 613. Why is it bar mitzvah, simchas habar mitzvah? It's a question that they ask. So the scholar Rebbe coming to the Baruch said, the answer is very simple. If you take the word bar mitzvah, the two words bar mitzvah, and you spell out b'milui completely, take the base from bar, base Jew tough. Take the reish shin. Take the mem, tzaddik is tzaddi, tzaddik dalad yud. Vav, hey. It's gematria exactly the same gematria as the pasuk Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Exactly. The word bar mitzvah b'milui is exactly Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So it's called the Rebbe the Baruch used to say, because when a bacher becomes a bar mitzvah, the mitzvah is mekabel on himself. Is the mitzvah of Kabbalah Sar Malchus Shemayim. Now you're becoming, now you're giving Kabbalah on yourself the mitzvah of Malchus Shemayim. That's the lignin of the tefillin that now you're putting on. You have to maybe be wrapped up with the Eibishter, right? The 42 times that it says between the Rashis and between the Shalyan and the Shalreish, Hashem's name in the tefillin. You have 21 times. In each one of the four parashas, you have 21 times the name of Hashem. Right? That's everyone knows the famous. You might have had this Reb Shekel, the famous Kalachomer from the Gemara Menachos, that really we know that you're not allowed to be Messiach Das in your tefillin. Rather, I have to say, that I mamish feel like I mamish re-bar mitzvah now with my son. I rethink upon myself. I can't take. I don't know. I'm embarrassed. Maybe I did, but I hope I didn't really. But schmoozing in my film, maybe all these varshim would do. I was counting myself not to talk in my film again. Hearing all the schmoozing that my son got, and I have to tell you, it's only about 2-3 weeks. But film has a different hashpah. All of a sudden, there's so many important things to talk about. Like listen, I'm accountable myself. I remember like 1,000 things I have to do that I must say, and I don't. I hold myself back, and I feel a difference in my film. The mom feel different. It's a very, very big condition. Because it's so important to remember the Allah not to be Messiach Das. So, Messiach Das means that a person removes distraction. A person shouldn't be distracted. It's film. You have to the whole time. Your mind has to be bound that you're wearing the film. What's so special? How do you know that you're not allowed to be Messiach Das in the film? Kal v'chomer mitzitz. The tzitz, the Kohen Gadol was not allowed to be distracted from the tzitz. Why? Because it said the Shem Yudke Vavke on the tzitz. How many times did it say it? And how many times did it say it on the tzitz? Once. And you're not allowed to be Messiach Das. Fill it between the 4 parashas that you're wrapping, saying, 4 parashas on your head, 4 parashas. Each one of the 4 parashas have 21 times. 21 times. That means between both you have 42 times. So when it says Kal v'chomer tzitz, you're not allowed to be Messiach Das because of one time. Oh boy, Kal v'chomer the tefillin, which you have 42. Your mama's not allowed to. Anyway, so he said that's the idea. The person is mama's bound to his tefillin. What is that? Is you're binding yourself to the Eibishter, Kiviyachol. The mama's like completely. It's connected the leiv, connected the moyach. The ritzuos are connected the whole goof till the bris. Later, your whole action, your whole essence is supposed to be kodesh l'Hashem, right? So he says that's in Kabbalah Sog Malchus Shemayim. Therefore, the bar mitzvah is a Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, because that's the ikar what a person is taking upon himself is the Yichud Hashem, the Kabbalah Sog Malchus Shemayim. So then I thought maybe, I don't know if it's true, but based on this, I thought that the Riyah Kodesh says that we know that the word mitzvah, the first 2 letters, the Mem Tzadik and Atbash, if you change the letters Aleph and Taf, if you interchange them, so there's such a lettering, instead of Aleph you put a Taf, instead of a base you put a Shin, so the Mem Tzadik becomes Yud K, so mitzvah really becomes Yud K Vav K. Every single time I do a mitzvah, I'm revealing the Eibishter in this world, right? So why is it that the first 2 letters are hidden and the second 2 letters are revealed? So the Rebbe already says, because there's Yichid Elon and Yichid Tata. There's the upper world and there's the revealed worlds. That what? The upper worlds, I don't see. I don't know what's going on up above me. That's hidden. The revealed world I see, and I believe that I have to see the Eibishter. My job, my duty in this world is to find the Eibishter. So therefore, the Vavei of the mitzvah is revealed because that's the lower world. And the Mem Tzadik is referring to the upper world. That's hidden because that's something I can't see. But when I do a mitzvah, I'm revealing all the worlds together. Why? Because I'm doing the Ratzon Hashem. When I do a mitzvah in this world, I'm revealing that I'm revealing the essence of God in this world by being the kind, the Ritzoin Elyon, the Ratzon of the one above into this world. So therefore, I'm creating a realization of the Shem Havaya, which that's why we say Havaya because we're not allowed to say Yud Kevavke. But Chassidus, we learned that the Havaya is also the essence of Hashem's name. I create a Havaya. Havaya means an essence, a metzius, a reality. When I do a mitzvah, I create that the Yud Kevavke should become revealed. So it could be based on this verse from the Skolya Rebbe that Bar Mitzvah, if you fill out the whole letters of Bar Mitzvah, comes Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. I said, could be that's the Itzvah. That's the reason why we say Bar Mitzvah and Bar Mitzvah. So why? Because I said that we know that when a person goes into his 14th year, when he finishes the complete 13 years, that's when the neshama comes to him completely. The whole essence of the neshama. Why is that? That's the Seder Olam that it starts by the 8th day, by the bris is nichnas one level, when he turns 3, going to the 4th year is another level, at 9 when it becomes mechunach b'mitzvah is another level, and the final you get your complete soul. Your complete soul is by By the bar mitzvah, no, the bar oinshin is a separate. Bar oinshin is a separate cheshbon that has to do with oinshin, not legabe neshama. But there is, after a person gets married and he meets his other half, so that's mamish the complete completion. It's like within the Chanukah, you have the choisim of the choisim of the choisim. Then that's a different level. A person gets married, then that's why it says that there's a level that the Baltani said. I think it was about Baltani, maybe some others, but the simcha of Sheva brachas is that's the first Shabbos that soul really complete, keeps Shabbos completely, because up until now, I only kept Shabbos for half his soul. First he gets married, he gets a complete Shabbos with his whole soul. But the essence is also the Shabbos bar mitzvah. The bar mitzvah after, even this machlokes and hagam, if you do the bar mitzvah aliyah, when he's 12, going into right before the 13th birthday after, others said to do it after, because that Shabbos is the first Shabbos that his mamish has his neshama, and he's like then the Tosefes neshama. So I thought maybe bar mitzvah is the same that because up until now, what do you mean? He had no neshama, he had a neshama, but he had a lower level neshama. But at the time he becomes a bar mitzvah bacher, he gets the whole level, the whole essence of the above. So that's the meaning of Bechiluf and Yud Kevav becomes a bar mitzvah. Bar is also an essence. A bar means he's a bar hocha. A bar means becomes an essence. It becomes bar mitzvah, becomes an essence of the Shem Havaya. That now he becomes an Havaya, an essence in this world, a Chayal, the Eibishter's army. He becomes an essence up until now. Of course, everything counted. But it wasn't the same. Once he becomes a bar mitzvah, his whole neshama, he becomes part of the complete picture. So that's an meaning of a big yichud or revelation. Yud Kevavke. Maybe yeah, maybe no. I think it's true. I like it anyways. But anyways, I want to share just now a verse from the Skolya Rebbe, which is very, very, very powerful. 1 second, if there's too much Kabbalah, so then we'll just shake our heads and make believe like we understand what we're saying. But we're going to have discussions. It's mamish gewalt. 1 second. 1 second. Just give it a second. Let me see. Yeah.
Should we pick a random puzzle?
He has this on the whole time. He has this all to Kalater to some reason.
They only so far they haven't they only printed Bereshit because every parsha.
Right.
So they never.
Is it based on every pasuk that he darshan during?
Yeah. A lot of days of the darshan. Okay. 1 second.
What would he say toward during Shalosh?
He said there a few times. He said Shalosh Shabbos. He said Shabbos for Friday night, Shabbos day, and Shalosh Shabbos. All three. And Yom Tov is the same way. He said the whole time. He said like she's over. She got a good piece. This fascinating piece over here. But I have to be able to say over a piece that will understand. Otherwise, no tails. Okay, here we go. Here we go. You ready? Okay, so this is a pasuk of Bereshit that's the game for us every day. Befrat M'shoyevim, we need a lot of tikkunim. It says like this: V'yar Hashem ki rabba ros odom ba'aretz. Hashem saw that the people of the earth were going after the taivas, doing bad stuff, all the way back in Bereshit by the Mabul. And everybody's thoughts are just messed up. Everybody just wants to make trouble all day long. So he says like this. He says, according to what his Zayda, the Holy Kamarna writes in Zohar Chai, and he says it's in a few places in Zohar. What does that mean? Pirush al shnei tzirim shadelas tisaf alayim. Ki hainu, I'm going to say ki yedua. Soda hainu akdusha. 1 second. The sheker hi aklipa. He says like this. Yeah, Rebbe said that what's talking about is two. What does it mean? The whole yetzer. Yetzer, we know that there's the yetzer tov and the yetzer hara. But yetzer also means that there's two sides of the door. There's the two sides of the door. Two sides of the door, right? You can either open up a door in the in or the out. What does that mean? Hainu ki yedua that saw them. Hainu akdusha. V'sheker hi aklipa. 1 second. V'yedua de'ein aklipa chiyusa mitzad atzma. Ki mitzad atzma ein lo chiyus afilu rega chad rak in ex mekdusha mo'ifan hazeh. Ki yasa misada sheker. If you look, you'll see like this. Klipa by itself, by the way, has no existence. How does Klipa survive? We spoke about this at length in the other shiur. Klipa only survives by pressing off the kedusha, right? He tries wherever there's a mitzvah that wasn't done l'shem shemayim, or something that wasn't done in a holy aspect, or chas v'shalom, if a Jew is acting in an improper way. Klipa's like, wow, got some food, and he runs and he gets some chiyus. He steals whatever kedusha is supposed to be there, and that's how he gets his chiyus, right? Remember we spoke about why it's so long after a woman has a baby, because the klipas come afterwards and try to be yoinim. After every time that is a big level of kedusha. By the way, a person b'chlal has this. Yeah, whenever somebody has a really big aliyah, something huge devekis, I'm just telling you now, as a friend, we love the highs, but just as a warning sign, when you get that high, I can tell you 1,000,000% right afterwards, the Yitzhak is going to come and touch you in the soil, and you might have a big low, but it's okay. Why? Because why does that happen? I finally was like such a fakest. I'm finally learning. I'm finally dominating. I'm finally B'Kedusha. You can't leave me alone. But the Yitzhak gets so, he's like, we can't leave him. We can't let him just be like that. So right away, the person had something, a great revelation of avodah, a great isgabris. The Yitzhak tries to come right away and say, hey, what do you leave for me? What do you leave for me?
What about the opposite when someone's low?
That already nothing does this for sure. If you're on the biggest low, just be excited that the next move is up, but that's something really in the person's bechira. That's really telling the person's bechira. Then if a person understands, if he reaches the level of the biggest low, the only way is up. That also could sometimes take time until a person comes to the realization that he's so low. But a person that has a gavaldiga high has to know that's not your choice. They're going to be useful. There's no such thing. It wasn't a freebie. All of a sudden, that Chazal say, if a person didn't have the right in a soyin or something, you're in trouble. That's not a good sign. The person's like, wow, I've been, the Tzar hasn't bothered me for a while. You're not a big malach. You're in big trouble. The Tzar left you alone. And by this, we have to fight. We have to keep on fighting. So he says, Soda means Kedusha, Klipa is Sheker. What's the difference between Soda and Sheker? Soda and Sheker is a very, very small difference. Why? Cut the top of the dalet a little bit, turn it into reish, and stick that piece of the dalet into the hay and make the kuf a little longer. Soda and sheker is very, very, very simple. Hainu hashin nesheres b'madregas b'kedusha. The shin stays in its level of holiness. Ela midalit muchekes tzas v'nasa reish. The dalit becomes a reish. The dalit hey, he makes kar. From the word da, he makes kar. The imshin hariyoshu sheker. The choli dikosim and ashin koyim zal kol sheker shein tchilosa emes. He be sheker tchilosa hay mishin. Ois emes humin akisha. Nim to shin hu gematria tzir. Vikar gam ken gematria tzir. V'zehu shnei tzir shadelus tisav leim ad kam divrei the Heilige Gemara. Gemara says like this: there's tzir. There's two sides of the door. What does that mean? That sheker is built out of the emes, because there's no such thing. Because I'll say sheker in the raglayim. Not only that, every sheker has to have some kind of truth, otherwise it doesn't stand. So what does the Yitzhak do? How come you always get fooled by the Yitzhak? We can't, after so many years dealing with the Yitzhak, we can't detect him and say, the baloney guy is here. How come he always manages to fool us? Always manages to fool us. You know why? Because he starts off looking a little emes. He comes with the shin. The shin is always, whether it's sada, which is the kedusha, or the checker stand straight. Then he takes the dalit hay, and he makes the dalit hay very cold. He makes it kar, because he snips off a piece of the dalit and attaches it to the rest of the hay. And he says like this: shin, if you take the shin, it's gematria tzir, and kar is also gematria tzir. So therefore, the two sides of the delis, the two chalakim, the Yitzhahara, you have shnei Yitzarecha, you have two chalakim, you have the Yitzhahara and the Yitzhahara. These are the two tzirim that are mesubah of the delis, and therefore it's up to a person to be misgaber and decide to serve Hashem b'shnei Yitzarecha with both tzirim, that they should all be b'kedusha. Now, almost finished, it says like this: the Heilige Bnei Sascha, which is the Heilige of Tzil Melech Medinav, says like this. It says like this. The Tilim and Pasuk Tilim says, Shine Rishom Shibarta. The Hainu Ois Shin Shebesoich Ois Yisresha Who Asvedik Shoit. Look at the word Russia. If it says Shine Rishom Shibarta, what does Shine mean? Shine is Oisius Shin. Right? Shine Rishom, Shin, Shibarta. What does that mean? If you take the word Russia, break the Shin, take the Shin out of the word Russia, what's left? Ra. That means that the outside Oisius of the Russia is Ra, but the inside, Be'etzim, is something true. That is a nitzitz of truth which is in there, and therefore it's Mechaya. So therefore it says that this Shin, we have to break it in order for what? That the Yitzhahara shouldn't be able to have any truth. You have to be able to knock out the Yitzhahara. You have to knock out the truth. Chas v'chalila, he shouldn't be able to fool us. He comes the whole time dressed up with the Shin. He comes so nice. Shin is always emes. Yeah, but you're surrounded by Ra. So Shine Rishon Shibarta. We have to break out that Shin. Take out that Chelik Emes. That when the Yitzhar comes to us, we should already smell from a mile away. Woo! The Yitzhar coming my way. You can't fool me now. By the way, Mesoscha has that length, and that's why the chiluk between, he writes this by Haman and Purim, the same idea, that the difference between the Indian of Russia, of the Chodesh of Adar and the Chodesh of Nisan is Ois Hey. Ois Hey is always the Shechina. The Ois of Adar is Ois Kuf. What's the difference between Kuf and Hey? A little longer the foot. And what is why an Adar represents to us, that's why we get dressed up, says the Bnei Tzaddik. The Yitzhar always tries to dress up like a tzaddik. But he's kuf l'fnei bnei adam. Why a kuf? Because his foot's a little longer. That means he tries to be the tzaddik. He tries to come like the hay, like the shchina. Only thing is, if you look really good, you'll see, hey, I busted you. You got a longer foot. You must be the Yitzhar. You're the kuf, the monkey. You're trying to be like the Ben Adam, but you're really a troublemaker. The idea is we have to always recognize him. So the idea is if we're zoiche to break that shin, if we're zoiche to break the shin, that means we're zoiche to have the rightest gabrus, to be able to recognize the Ra when he comes, so then he won't be able to fool us. So now he says like this. Now we're going to finish this right. Dara Mabel, they were the biggest mess ups in the world. They messed up on everything. Therefore, Valkain Baroy Pishim Bavoinim Niklem Mashin Shel Sheker, Vishin Shel Rosha, Venisha Kar, Misheker, Verami Rosha, Vezesh Am Vechol Yetzer Oisius Tzir. Hainu Ashnei Tzir Machshmachshvus Tig Rak Ra. Look what he did. Take out a sheker, the shin. What do you have left? Out of sheker, take out the shin. What do you have? Which is rak. Take out a rosh of the shin, what do you have? Ra. V'chol yeitze, hear this, it's such a beautiful word. It's called the Rebbe's word. Hear this? V'yeh Hashem grab a rosh of the bird, v'chol yeitze mach sh'tzibay. Rak, Ra, kol hayoyim. When they came to them, the Ra, v'chlechein kimun shu rak Ra, nestalik in the tzaytzes ekdusha, v'nishmushem, v'sheker v'rosh, rak Ra, v'beili yashalom, v'skam v'filu rega achas. And even them shen emchas ha'odem, rak sh'merov chastim, v'tum hipulem, Shem Yishuv Haven. He says, Moedik. He says, what the Eivish did a Moedik Matana for us, if we wouldn't have taken out the sparks of Kedusha, if we wouldn't have taken out the Rosha and the Sheker, the Shin, if we wouldn't have made Shin and Risham Shibarita, so then we would be stuck with this Ra the whole time. But because by the what he did was, he took out the Koich and the Tzoitzes. At that time, they fell to such a low level also, that by them it was completely revealed that there was no emes in their Averis. There was no emes anymore. It was Rak Ra. We took out of the Sheker, the Shin, we took out of the Rosh, the Shin, right? So therefore it was Rak Alayoim. Therefore, Emches Adam, we had to wipe out the Ra, the Mabel, the Dora Mabel. And it's a very important avoider right now. When a person in Shovim works on this thing, this is called episode. So when a person works on this thing to recognize that let's not fool ourselves. That's the Nakuda. Let's not fool ourselves when the Yitzhara comes to us and tries to talk to us about, it's Kedai, to look over there, see, maybe, she might be a shidduch that your friend might suggest for you. Yeah, Sheker, take out that shit. No truth to that one. Rak, Ra. A person has to make himself big, as Gabrus, and at this time, big recognition that when the Yitzhar comes his way, we shouldn't start thinking, maybe he's really coming to tell me something good. Maybe for once the Yitzhar is coming to tell me something kosher. Not true. Take out any good you think that Yitzhar has. take out any truth he has, and then it's rakra, and then there's no other choice, and he gets destroyed. If the level of these tzaddikim shaluva to Torah is connected to them, to have the koyach to be able to be misgaber over the ra and over the sheker, mizoich to the emes, and amitoy, bevias ben David, and Amen.